What if I told you that human rights as we understand them today have been deeply embedded in Islam for over a millennium? That's right, the concept of human rights isn't just a modern phenomenon. It has been a fundamental part of Islamic teachings since the religion's inception in the 7th century. In today's world, where cultures, religions, and ideologies intersect, understanding the perspectives of others is crucial. And when it comes to Islam, one of the world's major religions, there are often misunderstandings and misconceptions, especially regarding its stance on human rights. You see, Islam has a rich tradition of advocating for the protection and promotion of fundamental human freedoms and dignities. However, these principles are often overlooked or misrepresented in popular narratives. This isn't just a disservice to the religion and its followers, but to the broader global understanding of human rights as well. Consider this: in a world where we strive for equality, justice, and freedom for all, wouldn't it be valuable to understand and appreciate how these concepts are viewed and implemented within different cultural and religious frameworks? That's why it's important to delve into the essence of human rights in Islam, to highlight the basic principles that it upholds, such as human dignity and equality, the sanctity of life, justice, freedom of religion and expression, and the rights of women and minorities, and to address the common misunderstandings that have arisen due to cultural, historical, or political factors. Let's remember, the principles of human rights in Islam are not just theoretical ideals, they are practical guidelines for living a life of justice, compassion, and respect for all. They are principles that have been lived and practiced by millions of Muslims around the world for over 14 centuries. So, as we embark on this exploration of human rights in Islam, let's approach it with an open mind. Let's question our preconceived notions, challenge our biases, and strive to gain a deeper, more nuanced understanding. Now let's dive into the principles of human rights as they are presented in Islam. Social justice and compassion are central to Islamic ethics. These values, deeply rooted in the teachings of the Quran and the life of the Prophet Muhammad, underscore the religion's commitment to fairness, equity, and kindness. At the heart of Islam's approach to social justice is the principle of standing firm for justice, even if it requires challenging one's own interests or those of close kin. This principle is beautifully articulated in the Quran, which instructs believers to stand firm for justice, even if it be against yourselves or parents and relatives. This verse, found in the 4th chapter of the Quran, verse 135, underscores the uncompromising commitment to justice that Islam demands from its followers. This commitment extends to all aspects of life, from personal relationships to societal structures, from economic transactions to political processes. It is a call for fairness in every interaction, a call for equity in every dealing, and a call for integrity in every decision. Complementing this commitment to justice is the value of compassion, another key facet of Islamic ethics. Compassion in Islam is not simply a feeling of sympathy towards those in need, it is an active commitment to alleviating suffering and promoting well-being. It is a call to kindness, generosity, and empathy, a call to act with a heartfelt concern for the welfare of others. This emphasis on compassion finds its most profound expression in the Islamic tradition of charity. Muslims are encouraged to give generously to help the needy and to support the vulnerable. This tradition of charity is not just an act of generosity, it is a manifestation of compassion, an affirmation of the shared humanity that binds us all. Together, these values of social justice and compassion shape the Islamic approach to human rights. They instill a sense of responsibility towards others, a commitment to treating every individual with dignity and respect, and a dedication to creating a fair and compassionate society. This highlights the obligation to uphold fairness and equity in all dealings. These principles, when properly understood and faithfully implemented, can serve as a powerful force for good, promoting dignity, equality, and justice in our world. As we've seen, human rights in Islam are deeply rooted in the Quran's teachings. From the outset, we've journeyed through the principles of human dignity and equality, which are pillars of Islamic faith. The Quran teaches us that all individuals, regardless of their background, are to be treated with respect and equality. Misunderstandings often arise when these principles are overlooked or misrepresented. We discuss the sanctity of life and the right to justice. The Quran is unequivocal in its stance that life is sacred and justice is a right for all. Islam does not condone taking a life, except in the course of justice. This is a clear testament to the emphasis Islam places on the value of life and the importance of justice. Freedom of religion and expression, contrary to misconceptions, are also principles upheld in Islam. The Quran clearly states, There is no compulsion in religion, affirming the freedom to choose one's beliefs without coercion. Islam fosters a culture of intellectual diversity and encourages dialogue, a practice that promotes mutual understanding. Women's rights and minority rights, often misunderstood in the context of Islam, are in fact central to its teachings. The Quran advocates for the empowerment of women, granting them rights to education, employment, and inheritance. Minorities too are protected under Islamic law, safeguarding their right to participate fully in societal and political spheres. Social justice and compassion for the vulnerable and marginalized are not just aspects of Islamic ethics, but they form the backbone of its teachings. The Quran instructs believers to stand firm for justice, even if it goes against personal interests or those of close relations. This is a profound call to uphold fairness and equity in all dealings, a call that resonates with the core principles of human rights. In the face of misconceptions and stereotypes, it's essential to remember that human rights in Islam are deeply intertwined with its teachings. They are not an afterthought or a concession, but a fundamental part of the faith. The principles of dignity, equality, justice, and compassion are not just Islamic values, they are universal human values that Islam strongly emphasizes. By understanding and embracing these principles, we can foster a more inclusive and just society. Misunderstandings can be replaced with knowledge, stereotypes with empathy. Let's continue to unravel the true essence of human rights in Islam, forging a path towards greater understanding and harmony. This journey is not just about understanding a faith, it's about recognizing our shared humanity and the inherent dignity we all possess. So let's walk this path together, towards a world where the rights and dignities of every human being are respected and upheld.